Today we got a little bit something different. We got a 1967 Chevy Nova 2, and this puppy is gonna be getting some power steering. Right now I don't got none, so it's gonna be a task. Let's dig in. This is pretty much the kit we got here. We got our power steering pump, and we have a gearbox along with a couple other things. Alright, here is our old gearbox down here. So that doesn't look the easiest to pull off because we simply do not have any room down below to pull it out. From right here, it definitely looks like our column is just going to slide forward, and that's what's holding the gearbox in from right there. But this is for our shifter column. This is for our shifter lever right here. So I'm gonna have to pull that off first, and then we can go on the inside and then try to loosen up the column and just pull it back enough to where we can get our gearbox out. And now we can come on the inside, and what we're gonna be doing is pulling these two bolts off along with these two up here, and our entire steering column should just be able to slide forward. Alright, so while I was busy with the steering column, our other boy was up here, and he removed the alternator to give us more access down here. And he is about to go on with the power steering pump. This bolt goes through the water pump, and these two brackets bolts up to the engine. Alright, we both ran into a couple snags. I didn't see this clip here before, so I just got to remove that, and then we'll be able to slide the column out nice and easy. And his snag, what is your snag?
The bolt's too long.
The bolt is too long.
This bolt is too long.
Yeah, that's pretty long. So what are you gonna do?
We gotta go buy some bolts.
Alright.
And remove the clip.
And remove the clip. We got the goods. Alright, so here's where I'm at right now. I did get the whole column pulled forward a little. I just got it resting right here. And now we should have enough room over there to get the gearbox out. Now, as we can see down here, this is our gearbox shaft right here. So we should have enough room to wiggle that out now. So we're gonna now switch to the bottom and get the bottom all unhooked. All right, here's our gearbox right here. So we now can see exactly what I was talking about earlier, not having enough room. As we can see, this is part of the frame, so you would literally just have no room to actually pull the gearbox out and move it. Now we have this Pitman arm, which is absolutely caked up with oil. And then we're just going to have our gearbox bolts. I believe there's only 3 of them. We may run into another snag. This exhaust looks like it's probably going to have to drop just so we have enough room, because if we look right here,
Oh my God, that's a big fucking snag.
there is no room. Little snag, just a little snag. Nothing major, just a little snag. And for this feller, he got the power steering pump almost bolted up there. Just gonna have to swing it up, put it right there. He looks pretty unsnagged.
No snags.
Now we're gonna focus on this greasy guy right here. Got him off. Alright, so the reason why we're pulling this off the gearbox is so we can pull this pitman arm off, and that's going to be out of our way. And now our gearbox just falls straight out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have hit yet another snag. So as we can see, this is where our old gearbox bolted up to. As we can see, the old bolts go in nice and easy. The bolts that the kit came with are too big. So this is another snag, but we can overcome the snag with a nice sized drill bit. Now we are ready to get our thing back up there, gearbox. Alright, so we got our 3 bolts tight. Now we can continue on with this. Alright, so we do got everything put back together and looking nice. We have our gearbox up there and tight. We got our pitman arm back on, and that is connected to our control arms. So we are looking good down here. After lots of snags, we are looking a lot better. That is where our gearbox is right there, and we can see the black caps right there. That's where our lines go. So we have our power steering pump hooked up right here along with the gearbox back there. So now all we have left is to put the steering column back on, and then we can hook up our lines from the power steering pump going to the gearbox. And then for whatever reason, these fellas that make this kit here make it so it's not truly a kit, because we still have to buy the pulley for the power steering pump. So we are going to have to order that. That's going to be a couple days, so kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So from here on, we can go back inside and we can put our steering column back on and hook everything back up over there. Now on the inside of the car, I do got everything put back together. It wasn't too hard. You just slide the column back on and then bolts up those bolts. But everything I pulled off is back on, and it does look very nice. We do have everything on and installed. We just had to buy that crank pulley extender, so it added a rib, so that's how we got that 3rd rib. Then we went to O'Reilly's and purchased a new belt. We just measured that going from around the crank pulley to the power steering pump. That was pretty easy. Then we just filled the power steering pump up, hooked up our lines. Those go directly to our pump from the gearbox, and we just bled the system, and it's looking good. So all we got left is to basically jack the car down and really test it out. All right, this is going to be the first test of how the power steering works. Here we go. Let's see how it works. Definitely is a whole lot nicer than what it was before. Feels really good. I mean, this thing has power steering now. This actually works nice. Wow. Compared to what this was before, this is night and day. Well, that is a wrap on this video. This Nova now does have power steering and it works good. That's all for this video. I hope this was a cool, fun one. It's definitely something different, but it was pretty cool.